if President Adams told us all about this relationship and this criminal charges, and he says, "Hey guys, I want to make this law backward looking so that we make sure that my relation doesn't get the penalty that's coming to them," right? So if he's the president and he says, "Hey, I want to make this backward looking," that's going to be an uncomfortable conversation for all of us. But I'm pretty sure that the policy would have changed through the legislative process such that, it wouldn't have been backward looking, or
But
the bill
shouldn't
wouldn't have passed, or
wouldn't
some of
the
those
the
things.
appropriate thing would have been to disclose that up
That's the
front?
thing. I think it's a power dynamic when this is just me. But when the Senate president puts his finger on the scale on an issue, um, it it upsets the power on that issue. And in some ways, it might put too much focus on an issue more than it deserves. Because if he did disclose, then would we consider the policy dispassionately, right? And I don't know that we would or wouldn't, but I think we know when the Senate president really wants something to get done, you know, you'll see stuff gets done just because President Adams wants to get something done.
That's my
And
understanding, and I've had, I've got quite a few sources in both the House and the Senate who feel like they can't speak out without a threat of their not only their elected position but their professional position, and
but
and that's
but
really
that's
disturbing
why
to me.
like all those things. I can't speak to those because I don't feel the same way. President Adams and I have disagreed in public. We have disagreed in caucus. We've disagreed in several occasions. We've had yelling at each other in different times, right?
Hmm.
And you live next to him, so you know he does. He's not a guy that is typically known to yell at people, right? But he and I have had heated conversations, but I've never once felt threatened or worried about my job or my position in the legislature or like. So I don't understand that's those concerns, right? And maybe that's just me. That's just not me. But I feel badly if they do, and if any of my colleagues are listening to you feel like it, come talk to me. Like I'm happy to help build a bridge on where you feel like the concern might be.